All right, Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade here. It is that time of the afternoon when I let you know if you have anything to worry about in the tropics. We are tracking things closely here in the Fox 26 Weather Center. And yes, we still have our eyes on the Gulf because there's still a disturbance in the north central Gulf, and it once again still has a low shot for some development. Will it happen? Probably not, but either way, it's still going to spread a lot of tropical moisture to really the majority of the Gulf Coast, so heavy downpours will be increasing. This system could get more organized as it continues to push west, but right now models are not really making it very strong. It remains disorganized with a very broad circulation. So it is going to continue to spread that heavy rainfall, strong storm action farther west into the Texas Gulf Coast over the next day or two. So you can see that heavy rain already building into Louisiana, Lafayette, New Orleans getting some heavy downpours, Mobile, Alabama, back towards Panama City, Florida. So a big portion of the Gulf Coast already being impacted. But notice Houston, very hot, but still dry. Corpus Christi, still toasty, steamy, sizzling temps, but no rain just yet. You can also see a lot of heat. We got that heat dome sitting north of Louisiana and Texas, and heat alerts galore. So we've got the heat dome that will push away over the next day or so, and that will allow this big plume of tropical moisture to spread in. So plan on a decent shot for rain for the next few days moving into the Houston area, especially Friday, Saturday, even lingering into Sunday. But here's a little bit of good news. National Hurricane Center only giving this disturbance now right around southeastern Louisiana, a teeny tiny low 10% chance for development into a tropical system. So right now it is pushing west towards southeast Texas, and there's still a very slim shot, a very brief window for tropical development, but it's just not looking likely. It's very disorganized. We've got a lot of wind shear out there. Yes, we do have very warm waters in the Gulf, middle to upper 80s, but I just don't think this system is going to be over this warm water long enough to really start to get its act together. So that combined with some stronger winds in the upper levels will really allow this just to remain a very weak, disorganized disturbance, but it's still got a lot of rain with it. So it doesn't really matter how strong it is. It's still going to bring a lot of rain all up and down the Texas Gulf Coast, Louisiana Gulf Coast, all the way over to the Florida Gulf Coast. So this is our setup today. That low near southeastern Louisiana, most of that tropical moisture staying to the east of Houston. But as we go into tomorrow, notice this green shaded area starts to push west. So Houston will start to get in on more of those heavy downpours as that tropical moisture increases. So let me track it for you with our Fox Weather tropical model. Notice the downpours increasing right along the coast, Galveston, Lake Jackson, League City around 6 a.m. Friday. So it's going to start early, and I think through Friday morning, all of that heavy rain, at least waves of it, will start to push farther inland, reaching Houston likely by late morning into the early afternoon. So I stopped the clock here around 2 p.m. Friday and notice those downpours very close to Sugar Land, Sealy, the Woodlands, parts of Houston potentially. So yes, the weather will be a lot different likely for your Friday. It's not going to be an all-day rain, but waves of rain, some heavy, will mean that some of those streets that are typically prone to flooding, those low-lying spots, could start to flood pretty quickly. So keep that in mind. For that reason, southeast Texas, including Houston, Pearland, Sugar Land, the Woodlands, Galveston, under that low 1 out of 4 marginal risk for street flooding, not just for Friday, but the entire area has been added into that low flooding risk for Saturday as well. And that's going to include a big portion of the north central Gulf Coast. So keep that in mind if you're going to be hanging out in Houston or traveling along the Gulf Coast. How much rain are we talking about? Well, this model is showing anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of rain from Corpus Christi to Houston and Galveston to Beaumont over towards New Orleans and back towards Mobile, Alabama. So slightly heavier amounts likely east and northeast of Houston, but over towards Corpus Christi up to Galveston up to Houston, likely around 1, 2, possibly 3 inches. So with the flood threat in the forecast with this potential tropical system, just keep in mind 6 inches of water is enough to sweep away a person. So please be careful. 12 inches of water is enough to sweep away a car, and 18 inches of water can start to sweep away larger trucks. So watch out for flooding, try to avoid it. So far this season, we've had 3 tropical storms, no hurricanes, and of course, no major hurricanes. The prediction from CSU for the rest of the season, 16 named storms, 8 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. So we're kind of still towards the beginning portion of the season. So it hasn't been super busy yet, but don't let your guard down because we really haven't even gotten to the busiest part of hurricane season, which is typically mid to late August into September. So we've had tropical storms, Andrea, Barry, Chantal. Only a 10% chance that system in the Gulf will turn into tropical storm Dexter, but of course we've got to get all the way to the end of November. So keep it here. We'll keep you posted with what's happening in the Gulf and the rest of the Atlantic basin. We'll let you know if there's any trouble that you need to worry about.